Okay, Laura.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay, thanks. Thanks for hanging out a bit longer. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
I also really appreciated everybody's questions, and it just seemed to resonate and seemed to speak to me as well. So thanks everybody for asking all those questions. I guess this has been probably the most difficult week for me in decades, to the point of despair. And not necessarily because of the virus, although that's, brought income to an absolute halt. And, looking at just a few weeks of left of money in the bank account and not knowing where that's going to come from. So I guess I'm looking at or wondering, one, in general, what are my blocks? And then even what do I do? Where do I go from here? How do I live? How do I pay my mortgage or put food on the table?
Yeah, I hear that and I feel that deeply. So many people are feeling that. So the first thing is that there is a bill right now waiting in the Senate to get passed to bring some financial relief. So that should be coming. I'm also hearing that there probably will be some movement from financial organizations to give a grace period on payments. So those may not be things you really have to worry about right now. But the big overall thing that's coming through, Laura, and thank you for bringing this forward because this is important for everybody. We are all being called right now to step up and help each other. More of a sense of community, which is kind of ironic since we're also social distancing. And thank goodness we have the internet so that we can connect. So like on my local community Facebook page, somebody posted and said, who's got alcohol? My brother's an amputee and he needs alcohol to prepare his stump to put the prosthetic on, and nobody's got alcohol. They're all sold out. So many people stepped forward and said, I've got a partial bottle, I've got a couple of bottles, and they were dropping it off on the doorstep, all because somebody reached out and said, I need help. So this is a time for us all to reach out and say, I need help, or I've got this and I can share it with you. As we come together and we share resources so that everybody is okay, it's really going to be about building that community, whether it's a virtual community or a local community. But community is the big word that's reverberating right now, because we have all been very distanced by some of the political climate and other things that are going on, and the hatred and the bigotry that has reared its ugly head over the past few years. That needs to be resolved, and it's come up because it needs to be resolved, and we are at a time where we're ready to resolve it. Let's clean house. Let's get that detritus out of the way so that we've made the way clear for this new age, this new paradigm. We can all move forward together. So it's calling you, Laura, to stand in your spiritual warrior shoes with the confidence that you know you can get through this. Not just surviving, but thriving. But you're not going to do it alone. You're going to be doing it with those who are joining arms. We're all going to join arms, linked together. And we're going to move forward, taking positive action that will positively impact everybody. Does that help?
Yes and no. Yes, it helps as far as, and that is what we're seeing. I'm Canadian, and we are seeing a lot of a community. We do have Facebook communities where people are reaching out and doing these. I've started a COP meetup group where we drive through for people that are feeling isolated, we drive through the coffee shop takeout, and then we park our cars COP style facing each other so we can commune and still keep our social distance in our own cars. But there is that sense of community with people helping one another, and we're seeing that. I'm seeing more of that. I'm trying to stay out of the well, my mistake is also reading a lot of the news, which is, I need to stay back from that, because for every good post, there's 5 bad. But it's still not helping me. I still feel that I must be having a block, because this is years. You know, there's, even with the financial help, it's a couple of $100. I mean, I'm self-employed, so I don't have that that backdrop that employees have. So, you know, it's still, how does, or what do I need to do to move forward? And do I have blocks?
Okay, let's see what else they have to say. Is there some block you can identify for Laura that will help her to feel better and to take more positive action? Yeah, it's that deep-seated fear that's karmic, Laura, and this current crisis has just brought that to the forefront for you in a more powerful and visceral way probably than you've experienced it before. So it's like a 2x4 smacking you in the head and knocking you down because it's so powerful. But just know that you can shake that off and stand up and move forward. And what's going to help you when you get into that fear and panicky feeling is taking positive action, even if it's just walk around the block. But it's getting the energy flowing and looking for inspiration, finding ways to help other people. You're a leader. This is your opportunity, as you said, with your coffee group, that, and there's probably other things that you can do. So be open to the inspiration of how can you, Laura, stand up and offer something, whether it's virtual or whether it's, you know, in real life, to bring people together to support them, because in the supporting of them, they're going to be supporting you. It goes both ways. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be building on your business for the future. Now is the time to step up and do what you can, even if it's, you know, they can only offer a fraction of a contribution towards what you're bringing to the table, but it's still something. There's still, you know, that fair exchange of energy. It's just maybe at a reduced level now. And we're all making those adjustments and accommodating so that we can all come through this. So this is your chance to really step into your vision. What do you want? What's your bigger picture? What's your big hairy goal that you haven't really been able to get to? This is that opportunity.
Okay.
So seriously, what's your big hairy goal? What are you trying to move towards?
A number of things. I like what I do, but I'm in real estate. But I'm always thinking about other things to bring people into, you know, supporting single mothers that are doing breastfeeding, and I keep seeing different visions of different things that I want to do as far as just supporting more natural things.
Mm-hmm.
So
the breastfeeding thing is either going to have to be virtual or it's going to have to wait until this thing is passed. But
yeah.
Just pick one and go take some action. You're going to feel better.
Okay.
It's when you're in that place of saying, I'm blocked, I don't know what to do, and all the energy stops, grinds to a halt. Oh my gosh, that feels horrible. That's like the weight of the world just crushed you. And the way to get past that is to look and see what one tiny little thing can you do. What little action can you take? Because that gets the energy flowing and that heaviness lifts off of you. So it's taking that action. That's always the best answer when you feel this way, to get yourself out of it. And that gets that energy flowing, and then the inspiration and the vision can come to you, and you get into that better feeling place step by step by step. So I'm feeling this is a huge opportunity for you, Laura, to look around and re-visualize what you want for your life. Because if real estate's not serving you and lifting you up, how can you change it? Maybe you just do it slightly differently. Maybe you start moving into something else as an adjunct to it until you can transition. But that block that you're feeling is an illusion. That's fear and inaction that's holding you down. So it's incumbent upon you to really grasp that and say, okay, I'm tired of this, enough, I'm throwing it off. What one thing can I do today? And maybe it's, reaching out and taking the steps to put into place that group for the mothers that you want to start. How do you do that? Do you write an article for the local paper to let people know? Do you post it on the local boards and talk about it? Because right now people are very needy. So if it's something that's needed out there in the community or, the greater community, just throw it out there and see what comes forward from that, because that may just open many, many doors. It could just be the beginning for you. I'm just seeing all these doors opening for you, Laura, but you have to get up and go to them. That's the missing part.
Okay. Thank you very much, Deborah.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.